Hi, in this session we're going to learn HackerRank problem titled Birthday Chocolate. Quickly read the question. Lily has a chocolate bar that she wants to share it with Ron for his birthday. Each of the squares has an integer on it. From this what we can understand is the kind of chocolate what she has is basically made up of multiple squares, right? And there's a numeric value written on each of the squares. She decides to share a contiguous segment of the bar selected such that the length of the segment matches Ron's birth month and sum of the integers in the squares is equal to his birthday. You must determine how many ways she can divide the chocolate. Consider the chocolate bar as an array of squares wherein the values written on that particular squares is 1, 2. She wants to find segments summing to the Ron's birth wherein d equal to 4 with the length equaling his birth month wherein m equal to 2. In this case, there are two segments meeting a criteria. Let us try to go in detail like how did we get these two segments and what logic do we need to apply to get these two segments, right? First, let's try to read the order in which the input is given. The input will be given in three lines. The first line contains n, which is the number of squares in the chocolate. Also say the length of the chocolate. The second line contains n space separated integers, the numbers on the chocolate squares, right? The third line contains two numeric values, the day and the month value. The day value will be anything between 1 to 31 and month value will be anything between 1 to 12, right? And what we need to print is print an integer denoting the total number of ways that Lily can portion a chocolate bar to share with Ron. Okay. Now let us try to look at this particular example in more detail along with the method what we need to follow, and then we'll try to get into the implement. This is how the input will be provided. The first line will specify the length of the chocolate bar, which is 5. Now this is how it looks, 5 squares. And the second line basically specifies the numbers written on each of the squares. You can just see 2, 2, 1, 3, 2. And the d and m value which is given in the third line. Okay, right? The value of d is 4 and the value of m. Now your job is to select this bar segments in such a way that the length of the bar segment what is selected should match with the value of m, which is 2, and the sum of the values on this should match up with the value of 4, right? Now first we'll try to select the first two segments, right, like this. Now why did we select these two segments? Because that is as per the requirement wherein the length of the segment what you select should match up with the value of m, right? Now you add up the values of this particular segment, which is plus 2, and then you compare is it matching with the value of d, right? If it is matching, then we increment the result variable by 1, right? Then we look into the next segment. Okay, now in this particular segment, we add up the sum 2 and 1, which is 3. It is not matching up with the requirement telling that day is 4. It's not matching up. So we'll not update it. And now we'll switch to the next segment, 1 and 3. Here you can just observe that 1 plus 3 is 4. It's matching, okay, the value of d. So I'll update the result variable from 1 to 2. Then I'll go to the next one, right? Here 3 plus 2 is 5. It is not matching, right? And then I'll just stop because I've reached the end. I cannot go any further. Okay, I hope the concept is clear. Now let's look into the implementation. Now the first line, we need to read the length of chocolate bar, right? Once the user enters the length of the chocolate bar, right, then the next we need to read the numbers written on the chocolate bars, right, each of the squares. Now for reading that, I just require only one input statement, but that will read the entire line as one string. So I'd like to use split out here, and after that I want to convert to numeric value. I can just use list comprehension. I'll just use int of element for every element in the split values, right? So this is my numbers on the squares. Okay, so I'll just give it a square, right? Now third one will give you the value of D and M. Again, I'll do the similar kind of task here. Int of element for element in input of split. Okay, so once the input is read, now the next thing out here is we need to calculate. Okay, so initially the number of segments matching my criteria is set to 0. The next thing is I need to use a for loop. Okay, now I have a question mark like how many times the for loop should repeat. Okay, I'll just come to that. Now I know that for the first time I need to consider how many segments that is specified by M, right? So the first time before I could get into this, I need to select, okay, SQ of from 0 to M, right? The first segment. Now after that, I need to go in this particular way, print. Okay, I'm just selecting the segments 1 to M plus 1, right? Now this is how I need to keep going on to select the segments, right? So I'll be taking the input of M as 2 and D. Okay, I'm not bothered about D as of now because uh, D is just sum of whatever the segment you have selected, right? I want to observe that am I selecting the segments properly or not, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, right? Okay, now I'd like to provide the input here. First, let me try to compile, right? Python 3, birthday chocolate. Length of the chocolate bar is 5, and then the squares on each of this is like 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, right? Okay. Now we wanted 4 and 2. Remember, I'm not bothered about D as of now. I'm considering first time is it selecting the first two values like 2 and 2, then 2 and 1, 1 and 3, and then 3 and 2, right? Okay, yes, it is doing this job. Okay, now how many times did I run through this? 4 times, right? Okay, now you had 5 segments totally. Out of that, the value of M was 2, so you repeated 4 times. But remember, if the value of M was 1, we will be selecting first time only this, second time only this. Okay, so totally 5 times. But if the value of M is 3, so first time we'll consider this, second time we consider this, third time we consider this. How many? 3 times we should repeat. So now you need to find out a relationship such that you have to keep track of the number of times the loop should repeat and you get the correct segments. For that, I can just say for I in range, remember I'm starting with the value 0, right? So start from 0 and then it should end with what value? Okay, now I know that if M value is 1, it should repeat n number of times. Okay, remember if I just write n minus M, like for example n value is 5, M value is 1, so 5 minus 1 will be 4. No, I wanted 5, so what I can do is I'll just add plus 1. Now let us see if the same thing can also work for when the value of M is 2. The n value is 5, so 5 minus 2 is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4. Yes, 4 times should repeat, and the value of M is 3, right? So we need to repeat 3 times, right? So first 3, then 2, 2, okay, 4, 2, 3, 4, and then 3, 4, 5. So 5 minus 3 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, so it's matching. So I'd like to basically control in this particular way, wherein this will be value of I, right? And this will be I plus, right? So earlier it was 0 plus M, 1 plus M, 2 plus M, 3 plus M. So now I'll try to comment this. I'll try to run this particular code, and then once it works, then we'll try to go ahead. So I'll try to compile this. Same input 5, 2, 2, 1, 3, and 2. Let us give it a value of 3 out here for the value of M. So first 3, then you can just see, okay, starting from second to 3, starting from third to 3, right? So this is working. So once you get this particular segments, then if you want to get the sum, it's quite simple. Once you get this segment, you should just apply the sum function, right? So let me just try to apply the sum function on this. Okay, whatever the segment you got it, I'd like to print it in the same way, right? Sum is a built-in function. Fine. Let's go back, try to rerun this code, right? 5 2 2 1 3 2, and then I'd like to write 4 and 2. So you can just observe, this is 4, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. So we learned how do we divide these into multiple segments and how do we calculate the sum of the segments. Now the condition is it should match up with the value of d, then we should increment the value of the result. So what I'll try to do it is, okay, I'll just check out this. Okay, remember this is not required to print. I just need to take up this section. I need to check if this section, okay, the sum of this particular section, if it matches D, then I need to update the value of result. And finally, I need to print the result value, right? That's it. Okay, right. Now remember, while submitting HackerRank, even the print statement is not required. So first, let me just try to run here. I'd like to run the same, right? 5 2 2 1 3 and 2, then I'd like to say 4 and 2. You can just see out here I got two segments matching this condition. So I'd like to take this particular code, except the first line, and go back to my HackerRank and go to the Python section out here, right? See, the code might be quite lengthy, that sample code which is given. Don't worry about that. Take this code, whatever we have written just now, paste it out there, okay, and then try to run this code. Processing. Sample test cases passed. Submit this here. Done. Thank you.